Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you subscribe. Kind of an odd hour for me to be live streaming. I was going to do it later on today, but I'm up, so might as well. Okay. So today's topic: creationists. You're still apes. Get over it. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scientific definition of the word ape. And I want you to tell me, if you can, because you cannot, how humans do not fit into the category of ape. So first, let's define what a primate is. Not an ape, a primate. And in order to do this, I'm going to share my screen. So just a minute here. And so, so you don't get sidetracked by me. I'm actually going to turn my camera off, so you'll see my avatar instead of me. And we're going to go over here, and we're going to read the definition of the word primate. Characteristics of primates. All primate species possess adaptations for climbing trees, as they all descended from tree dwellers. This arboreal heritage of primates, which would include us, has resulted in hands and feet that are adapted for brachiation, or climbing and swinging through trees. These adaptations include, but are not limited to: 1. A rotating shoulder joint. Do you have a rotating shoulder joint? Let me start my camera up here. So just in case you don't know what a rotating shoulder joint does, you can go up like this, you can go down like this, up like this, down like this. You can go out like this. This is called abduction, by the way. This is called adduction, when you put it closer to your body, and then you have where you can roll your shoulder. Okay? That's what that means. Number 2, a big toe that is widely separated from the other toes and thumbs, which are widely separated from fingers. Now, in humans, the big toe is not separated from our other toes, because we've adapted to walking uprightly. But for the other apes, the big toe separated from the other toes, and the thumbs that are widely separated from the fingers, allows for the gripping of branches. So again, we do not live an arboreal lifestyle anymore, so we don't need a big toe that is widely separated from our other toes. Number 3, stereoscopic vision. That is, 2 overlapping fields of vision from the eyes, which allows for the perception of depth and gauging distance. So let me start my cam again. All right, we have 2 eyes. Okay, now each eye has a visual field, and part of the visual field overlaps. And what our brain does is it collates that information to make one visual field. Now, if you've ever had double vision, I've never had double vision, but it does happen. If you've ever had double vision, what happens is your brain temporarily, hey, Kevin. Yeah, I've never had a torn rotator cuff, but I have had shoulder problems. So anyway, oh, hang on. All right, other characteristics of primates are brains that are larger than those of most other mammals. This is relative brain size, not overall brain size. Claws that have been modified into flattened nails. I think every one of you has flattened fingernails. Not a big leap, people. Typically only one offspring per pregnancy. In general, that's true. Every now and then you'll have people with twins. They have twins like every other pregnancy or whatnot. But for the most part, only one offspring per pregnancy, and a trend toward holding the body upright. Okay, so that is the scientific definition of a primate. I have another screen pulled up that I want to share with you. This is from the Australian Museum. Ape Features. Now remember the features of primates. We have those features. You can't escape that. All right, ape features. Apes, including humans, possess the same general features that all primates share, but they differ from other primates in a number of distinctive ways. Features that separate the apes from other groups of primates include a brain that is larger and more complex than other primates, distinctive molar teeth in the lower jaw, which have a Y5 pattern, or 5 cusps, or raised bumps arranged in a Y shape, a shoulder and arm structure that enables the arms to freely rotate around the shoulder, a rib cage that forms a wide but shallow chest, an appendix, and no external tail. If you meet those criteria, you are an ape. I'm sorry if you can't accept the fact that you're an ape. But that is the scientific definition of the word ape. And you are an ape, whether you want to believe it or not. This isn't about believing in God, by the way. I don't give a fuck if you believe in God. I don't give a fuck if you believe in God. That, as long as you treat people decently, which fundamentalists don't, but I'm not getting into that can of worms today. As long as you treat people decently, I don't give a fuck if you believe in a God, don't believe in a God, I don't care. I really don't. I don't believe in a God, but that's me. If there is a God out there, he or she knows what it will take to convince me to believe in him or her. They haven't given me the evidence. And I used to believe very strongly in Bible God, but I don't anymore. Believe in God all you want, but stop hiding from the facts. Stop hiding from the fact that evolution happens, that evolution is true. Stop hiding from the fact that you are not special any more than any other animal on the face of this planet is special. Stop hiding from the fact that if there is a God out there, he or she does not give two fucks about you. Stop hiding from the fact that we as human beings might not be alone in the universe. and get it out of your goddamn mind about this hideous, hideous, hideous religion of Christianity that is based on the fact of a human sacrifice. That is what you believe, whether you want to admit it or not. That's the whole basis of your fucking religion, is a human sacrifice. And I'm sorry if you don't want me telling you the truth about your goddamn religion. You can still believe in God. Like I said, I don't give a fuck whether you believe in God or not. I mean, hell, believe in Bible God. You know, I mean, forget that he's a fucking moron. You know, forget that he's a fucking creep. Forget that he's not a good designer. You know, if he exists, forget all of this. Forget it. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. Treat your fellow man properly and stop denying scientific facts. Stop denying scientific facts. It's one thing to have your religion. It's one thing to have your religion. It is a totally separate thing to bury your fucking head in the sand because you don't want to be told that you are nothing special. That you are just like all the other animals. Which, by the way, is why we need to protect our animals. Yes, our animals. They are our animals. We are related to them. Maybe long time in the past, but we are related to them. We share 50% of our DNA with a banana. Yes, Ray, that was a nod to you. We share 50% of our DNA with a banana. Let me ask you something. If we are a special creation by your God, why do we share 50% of our DNA with a fucking banana? We share 98% of our DNA with the chimpanzees. Why the fuck, if we are a special creation, do we share 90%, 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees? If we are a special creation by God, why are we made of cells just like every other animal on the face of the earth? If we are a special creation of God, why do we have four-chambered hearts like primates? If we are special creations by God? Why do we share a spinal cord, hey John, with everything in the phylum of Chordata? Why? If we are a special creation by God, He should have been able to throw out any other blueprints and start afresh. But He didn't. Why? Why didn't He? Well, the obvious answer is He doesn't fucking exist. At least I don't see any reason to believe that He exists. But the other reason is maybe He was just too lazy. Maybe your God's not powerful enough. Maybe He has to follow a blueprint. You don't see these things because you don't want to see them. Your leaders have lied to you. Your leaders have lied to you. And they get paid to lie to you. You pay them to lie to you. How sad is that? That you pay your leaders to lie to you. You don't need church. You don't even need a religion. You are enough. You are enough for yourself. You can depend on yourself. And when you can't, when times get hard and you just cannot do that, that's why there are other people. Has God ever shown Himself? No, He hasn't. And there's a sex joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going there. Just a little thing to lighten up the mood here. Okay? But I'm not going there. I'm not doing a sex joke thing, right? But anyway, no, it's not. You are enough. You are enough. There's no such thing as sin. There's no such thing as sin. Get that out of your mind. Get it out of your mind. Because there's no such thing as sin. You do not deserve to die any more than anybody or anything else deserves to die. Okay? You don't. Things die because that's the way of everything. You know, the universe is going to die someday. Maybe it'll be like a phoenix and be reborn. We don't know. For all we know, there was another universe before ours, and there's going to be another universe after ours. We don't know. But to sit there and say that, hey, I know that there's a God, and I know that God is Bible God, and I know blah, 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 blah. No, you don't know. You don't know. I was in this for 40 years. I was in Christianity for 40 years. Not young earth creationism for 40 years. I was in young earth creationism for probably the first 20 years of my life. And then I went to college. But now I'm out of Christianity altogether. I'm an agnostic atheist. And I make no bones about saying that. But you need to realize, that the only thing that is going to rescue us from ourselves is us. Hey, Purple. Hi, TV Tube Me. The only ones that are going to rescue us from ourselves is us. Purple. I just can't sleep. Been doing a lot of that lately with my arm. So, I guess I'm just up. And while I'm up, I'm, live streaming. I was going to do this later on today, but since I'm up, go ahead and do it. Yeah, Kevin, one of the things I love about apologists is they say, quote unquote, evolution. Excuse me, evolution is a religion. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think that's hilarious because they are using religion as a pejorative, which means that they are using a pejorative of themselves. Because they're in a religion. And we're not in a religion. Well, evolution isn't a religion. Evolution is a scientific fact. Purple, you might want to, I don't know if you've seen my live stream from earlier. Well, I guess it's yesterday now. But go see that live stream. It's pretty hilarious, I think. I was in top form. Yeah. I was. I mean, you know, these creationists, they press my buttons. Well, Kevin, at least we can see natural things, which is more than we can say for their God. Okay, purple. That's no biggie. Um, so I've gone through the definition of a primate, gone through the definition of an ape. What else can I go through? Earlier today, I pointed out what kind of a designer would put the birth canal next to the poop chute. That's one of my favorite arguments against design. Birth canal next to the poop chute. One of my other favorite arguments against design is the breathing hole next to the swallowing hole. You know, sometimes the epiglottis doesn't work like it should, so you end up inhaling things you shouldn't. Most of the time it does, but sometimes, yeah. And then, of course, there are disorders where people have to be very, very careful on eating because the epiglottis doesn't work all that well. Gee, nice design, God. Just have people choke on their food, why don't you? You know? And I remember John Morris Pendleton in one of Logic's "Hello, I'm a Scientist." John Morris Pendleton had a picture of a gorilla up on the projector. I mean, this is way back in the day. And he said, "Can you tell what this creature eats by his teeth? He doesn't even eat bananas." I'm like, John, you need to go. You need to go read a biology book because gorillas certainly do eat bananas, but they also eat other stuff. Fruits, to be exact. They prefer fruits, but when fruits are not available, they eat leaves and shoots and whatnot. Go read a fucking science book, John. It's not that hard. Unless you can't read, then take a reading course. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, did you know, bonus fact here, did you know that our eyes see things upside down? It's true. Our eyes see things upside down. It's only after it gets to the brain that the brain flips it right side up. It's true. Look it up. Also, why do our optic nerves cross? The input from our left eye goes to the right side of our brain, and the input from the right eye goes to the left part of the brain. Wouldn't it have been much simpler not to do it that way? And also our nerves, another fun fact for you, our nerves cross at the spinal cord. Why? Wouldn't it be much simpler if they didn't cross? Exactly, purple rhymes with orange, and our brains just interpolate to fill it in. That's what it does. That's what our brains do. Why would, if we were a special creation designed by God, why do we have a blind spot? Why wouldn't we have perfect vision? But we don't. We have a blind spot. What else doesn't make any sense if we were designed? I guess you could say our pelvis. No idea, purple. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? You would think so, purple. If we were so special, you would think we would get everything right. But we don't. We don't. If an all-powerful God created us specifically, why would he have to compromise on anything? Do you know why most of us have bad backs? It's because we're obligate bipeds. That's why. That's why most of us have bad backs. Well, yeah, except it wasn't designed. So, we can be like not that. Oh, Kevin, I had somebody earlier yesterday on my live stream that was like, why did, like, something about women giving birth, and I'm like, we have trouble giving birth because our pelvis is shaped so that we can walk uprightly. It's about bipedality, not anything having to do with a curse from God. You know, I mean, and speaking of pelvis, why do whales have pelvises? Why? They don't walk. That's generally what a pelvis is for. Either quadrupedally, like on all fours, or bipedally, like we walk. That's basically what a pelvis is for. Why do whales have pelvises? And that guy or gal yesterday, he never did, or they rather, never did answer me what a soul was. I asked him because they were talking about a soul. I said, "What's a soul?" Never answered. Hey, Ariam. True, but they don't. This is true, Ariam. But Purple's Purple's point is they're sea dwelling now. And if they were never land dwelling, then they would logically have the same skeleton as sharks do. That's his point. And another thing is, why are they mammals? Why do they have to come up for air? Why can't they just take in the air in the water like fish do? They're not fish. Why aren't they fish? They live in the ocean. Why aren't they fish? This is what creationists don't think about. Of course, creationists don't think about much of anything, but, you know, exactly, Purple. Exactly. Makes no sense. Just makes no sense. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Whales have fingers. Yep, they sure do. They got fingers. Why do they have fingers if they'd never had a hand? TV to me, I think in their case, evolution worked in reverse. So Kent might have a point. I mean, it certainly worked in reverse in his case, because he certainly ain't smarter. I know, I like picking on Kent. But if he would just shut the fuck up, we wouldn't pick on him. He has no idea what the fuck he's even talking about. And he keeps on doing it anyway. And people keep listening. That's why he does it. I mean, let's be honest here. He wouldn't do it if people didn't listen. Of course, if people didn't listen, he'd have to go out and get a real job. Oh my God, a real job. Yeah. Fucking morons. I know, Purple. They like being lied to. Let's face it. They pay people to lie to them. When's it going to end? Well, luckily, people are smarting up and saying, hey, young Earth creationism is on the decline. Thank goodness. Not fast enough for me. Tell me about it, Purple. And they still haven't answered the question of, well, if the flood really did happen, why don't we find just a jumble of bones? Why don't we find a Precambrian rabbit? Because we don't. And if the Earth is not 4.5 billion years old, why is it that when we find dinosaur bones, they're fossilized? But when we find human bones, they are never fossilized? They don't think about these things. And that's what their leaders want. Oh, Kevin, I missed that one. Which stream was that on? I'll have to go watch that one. Yeah, apparently Matt the Brain Powell thinks that chickens are T-Rexes. Yep, that's right. Let's see. Oh, also, um, one of his most brilliant arguments, being facetious here, one of his most brilliant arguments is, if there are African Americans, how come there's still Africans? Okay, I'm gonna go have to watch that. Um, yeah, I don't know whether you heard that brilliant argument or not. If there are African Americans, how come there are still Africans? That was one of his arguments. Oh, one of the creationists' go tos. If the earth is millions of years old, why do we still have a magnetic field? Um, Read a fucking science book. Yeah, really, TV to me. Tell me about it, Purple. If there are African Americans, why are there still Africans? What? Okay, Kevin, I'll go um watch it later on. Um Purple, dude, you didn't tell me you had a channel. I'll have to go subscribe. But anyway, yeah. Um let's see. What are some of the other stupid um things creationists say? I should probably do a live stream of top 10 stupid things creationists say. Oh, the surfing monkeys. I think that's a Matt Powellism, but I'm not sure. Um, you know, when scientists say monkeys, quote unquote, surfed their way over to the New World, um, of course, it's not like they had a surfboard and no, it was like yeah, yeah, Tarum, you got that right. I'm sorry, Purple. I'm sorry. I didn't know. So anyway, yeah, surfing monkeys. No, you idiots. It was like floating rafts of vegetation that got, separated from the mainland. Exactly, Purple. Exactly. Surfing monkeys. What? Where the fuck do these people get this nonsense? Hmm. And then I was watching Vice Rhino today. He came out, I think, yesterday or the day before, um, with powerful arguments for creation or something like that. It was powerful, as in Matt Powell, you know, play on words there. But one of the things that got into Matt Powell's top 5 arguments for a young universe was that Pluto's core isn't cold yet. Well, that's his problem. That's his fucking problem. Yeah, I figured it was a magazine. They don't know how to read science journals. Get one, Tarum. Oh, so anyway, I'm like, we don't even know much about Pluto, Matt. Oh, he also said Pluto was a planet. Matt, try reading something that was written within the last 15 years, because Pluto was demoted to a planetoid 15 fucking years ago. Yeah. Pluto's not a planet, my dude. Let's see, what else did he say? His number one argument was the magnetic field. Okay. The only dumber argument that I can think of, and Vice Strina pointed this out, the only dumber argument I can think of would be the population argument. It's probably the dumbest argument there is out there. It's like, until very recently, the population was very steady and even declined at certain places, you know. One of his other things was short-lived comments, like Haley's comment. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that one. These people have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Read a fucking science book. Oh, I'm sorry. That was to Matt Powell. It's just going to go over his head because he doesn't even know what science is. No, Magic Sky Daddy just farted everything into existence. I'm happy with that. Well, guess what, Maddie? We aren't. We aren't. This is true purple, and we know that's not true because the Oort cloud makes them, I think, and I think some of them also come from the Kuiper belt, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that one. But anyway, probably not, Kevin. Probably not. It just gets to me. It gets to me that these people let their leaders lie to them. And no matter how uncomfortable you find the facts to be, creationists, facts are facts. They don't care about your feelings. Grow a pair of balls. Or if you're a woman, grow a steel vagina. And grow up and accept reality. I don't even know why you people want to live forever. I'd get bored. I would get bored. And it devalues life. Because if we've got another life waiting for us in heaven, then this life doesn't matter much. Question for you creationists. If heaven is going to be so joyous and so perfect and blah, 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 why aren't you falling all over yourselves to get there? You should be falling all over yourselves to get to heaven. Could it be that you really don't believe in the bullshit that you're espousing? Really and truly, deep down, could it be that you do not believe the bullshit that you are espousing? That is correct, Taram. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't give a fuck if people believe in God. That's not my issue. As long as people treat other people correctly, which fundamentalists do not, and they use their fucking book as a fucking excuse not to treat their fellow humans correctly. As long as you treat people decently and the animals decently and the planet decently, I don't give a fuck if you believe in God. I'm not here to say you should or should not believe in God. It's not what I'm about. I'm just here to present the truth to you. And if you've got a problem with what I present, then, my friend, you have a problem with the truth. Taram, I was thinking about the S word. I'll get demonetized if I say it, so I won't. Exactly, Purple, exactly. Purple says, in case you're not in case you're not watching right now, Purple says, I wouldn't care if they were not using their religion as excuses for bigoted laws and dangerous public policy. Yeah, Kevin, I'm fixing to go. So anyway, I will let you guys go. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You can join my channel for as low as 99 cents a month. I am going to be having my first members only live stream sometime soon. So if you want to be a part of that, join the channel. And in my community tab, I've asked my members about when they're available. I can't accommodate everybody, but I will accommodate people to the best of my ability. And I will talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye.